Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so welcome again to another episode of Future Trading with Seth, the show where we sit here and try to not fall asleep while we watch the 10-year Treasury. So, man, it's just been super range bound. The range of the overnight session is literally 8 ticks. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Literally 8 ticks. That is just so bad. that is the tightest range you're ever going to see. Ooh. This is just awful. So bad. Well, let's pull up links. I don't really know what else to say other than that. The E-mini continues to move a little higher as well. And Bitcoin a little lower. Continues to be messed up. Oh man, it's just all right. So let's pull this over. So here's the thing. We had a move, pretty strong move on what was it, the 3rd, and it didn't quite break out of the range. Okay, and then we came up and tested again, didn't do it, and then we broke the range and failed. And now we've been pushed lower. We're almost to the bottom of the range. Yesterday we were extremely range bound, couldn't break the bottom. A little bit of movement, but not much. And yeah. Geez, I don't remember it being quite like that. I do remember buying 0.3/2. Yes, and taking off 0.55. Yes, that's correct. Oh, it was just so tight. Just so tight yesterday. Well. Yes. I have seen these turn in big before. Has happened. Has happened. It's interesting. We come down. We still see kind of the same orders that we saw yesterday. The same range and stuff in the Vista chart. You see right here. We draw. There's this one. It stayed through the night. This order right here has stayed. This order has kind of stayed. It's actually thickened up over here in the 5-year. 30-year same thing. And these ones still there. Now in these, I think probably the upside is probably still there too, but it's probably a little bit higher because we did get past 6.5 and 7, I think. So it's probably more like that. Okay, well above 2.5 and we could start. It's coming back down into it. You could potentially buy that. The E-mini kind of looks like it wants to take a dive today. I don't know. Bitcoin did take a little bit of a haircut yesterday by about $300. I like that we're building up a little bit of volume here, but I think that the initial trade was already there. We kind of missed it. I was kind of been doing this for a while anyways, so there's a 4K right there at 03.5. Okay, well that looks like it could be good for continuation. Okay, came down. Oh, there we go. Hmm. I wish I could see better in Bitcoin, but my chart continues to be messed up. It only sees June 27th and it doesn't see after that for some reason. The new contract is like, the data on the new contract is messed up. Okay. So they're turning around here. They did absorb a lot at the 03 half. Yeah. If they were going to go there, they shouldn't be coming back to 03. For sure. Although we are getting some bubbles and stuff in the 5 years, so I'm a little hesitant because I don't know what the spread... I don't know what the spread is doing. ZB really went off there. The E-mini was testing its lows as that happened. Okay. Big change to KCS. Okay, well this is a little weird because they're not, we're coming down, but the E-mini is not. The E-mini is continuing to push lower and we're coming off here. The correlation would dictate that you would probably want to buy. What the heck? I didn't see that Trump had The Simpsons. What's this? Jesus, this is something that Donald Trump tweeted last night. Okay. Somebody that says that their model says it's 100% chance is full of shit. Yeah, I think I've seen. I mean, the rest of that just looks like something I've seen before. Zero hedged. Okay, so 30 would have gotten filled plus 2. I think that's all you could ask for on that one. Maybe should have taken it. Yeah. I mean I saw the imbalance when it was like 7K. I was like, okay, has to go down. But um like breaking the lows and stuff is, I don't know. Seems like the uh seems like the market is doing something a little fishy, and I'm still not sure what it is. I don't know. Oh, so you know what? Well, I'm thinking about it. Should change some of these things. Hi, Joern Borima. Let's change this so that people know that I don't always respond right away. I can't find the spot that I want to on Twitch where I have, like, you know, the links and stuff. Where is it? Okay, they took 120 there. Just like right away. Maybe that's what I need to do. Oh, it's in channel feed. Huh. Okay. Just do that. I have to look at that later. Dum bum bum ba dum. It's not even 10 ticks, dude. It's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's 9. They extended it by. Okay. But they here, the thing is like here at this spot, like the 01, like, are they gonna break that? I don't know, like, can we reliably take that trade though? Oh, maybe you can. $5,000, 6,000 absorbed into 01 half. Now, of course, if anything pulls at 020, then this has a chance to move back up. But that is enough people taking a trade there at the low that if they pulled anything at 01, they would probably careen right through it. And the E-mini is recovering quite well. You could watch this right here. So this, I think, would be a good place to check out our stop limit here. An experiment. There it is. Okay, well, that worked out the way that it should have, but there's an iceberg there. So, so what you gonna do? I'm guessing it was probably not the only person that put a stop limit there. The way that that happened. At the same time, I have a hard time seeing that much trade into the low and then not going through. Especially with the imbalance at 0.5. I mean, that's like a, well, that's like a level break trade that they hit it, but it's not, you're not actually getting anything through it. Like you could be short 0.5 and still be able to get out break even. How much are they going to trade? I mean, there's 39 there. If they keep trading this, could it go to 11? I guess so. Well, there you have it, folks. So they're going to trade 0.5, 0.5. Come on. No. No, they did not. Set this. So it looks to me like right now, like you got this thing going on in the 5-year. And that's why you're getting this thing in the 10. See it in the 32. Oops. They're still hitting it in the 5. Now that 14 quarter in the 5-year looks really strong. The 30-year ticked up. Well, I'm going to say that so far that particular experiment appears to have not worked very well. So I really thought that if they pulled anything at one, that they were going to go through, and it did not. So I think that that is an assumption that we should be a little bit more careful with next time. So look at how weak that offer is getting at times. I think it's gotten as low as 25. So I kind of read that as a possible lure. Like they're trying to lure people in, but nobody is actually buying from it. Now, flipping it around the other way, if this flips, which it might, I think you might see a lot more orders sell. Yes. Okay, and they did hit into 0.5 that time. And it didn't take a whole lot to clear the 01, so I think we could see this. Wow, okay. Now, the second time around, if I had done that stop limit, I think it would have worked. Because 1500 hit back up into it, so I think it might have gotten filled. And then, of course, you got the stops at 0.5. I'm just paying attention to this 7 right here. See this and this? There's that might pull. So this one I think you're gonna see some fills. I don't know if it's gonna trade 5, but this one you might see some pulls. This one is pulling a little bit. Okay, so they hit 7. Okay, and I'm seeing some crazy in the 5-year. Okay, so now here we're on this one. Nope. Well, I'm thinking about just taking one because the 120 didn't pull. That's a lot of volume they would trade there, and then that would mean several thousands traded, and Jolts is coming up, so we definitely got to get out. I forgot about that. Yeah. 6.88 is the number. Okay, I'm not seeing the number come through yet. That's weird. I'm not seeing pulling either. But I did see enough action there at OHAF and 120 even that I want out because I'm not sure what's going to happen even though we have these huge offers pushing us down. Let's refresh here. Oh, it's not for another hour. Durr. I'm dumb. So they've been able to stack back up to 38, almost 4K. We're not seeing a lot of orders go through. The 5-year, I mean, if the 5-year hit it again and they, I don't know, this is like right on the edge. I think it's worth keeping, but we've got to be super vigilant here, I think. Okay, so now it's gotten to 4. Here's the 5-year again, still at 1,000. With 33 on top of it. Now 8. Nine. 6, 3, 2, 200 there at the 30-year. The 30-year looks like it could possibly tick up. If I'd left my order in there, I think I still would not be filled. I'd be close though. I took it off because I figured if they trade another 3K there, then there's a really good chance of taking this out, so. Okay, a little bit more traded than the 5. Now it's 500 there. I'm just, this right here. And this. The 5 years also absorbed a lot. A few more cells there, but not really making a huge dent in it. Okay. Slight pickup in level 2 activity. I feel excited, but just trying to be patient here. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So there's a huge iceberg there at 05. Really? If it goes through so well. I'm not gonna see 12,000 iceberg at a price and not get out. They're still hitting it. Yeah. Man, seriously, look at this. Okay. It's like it filled. If it goes through, oh well. Because I don't want to see that much volume trade and then... Like that right there's an exit signal. If it decides to push through the 120 here, for instance, then that's like another trade. Oh, look at that, 33 bid again. So this is now well over 13. Yeah, lifting a little bit. Perfect example of why I get out there. Well, maybe I should just pull in an Uzi and just say that's my one tick trade for the day and be done with it. After all of that, I'm a little, what do we want to say, suspicious? I feel a little suspicious, like, it's not going to do anything from there. Like, that's something where I would get in and I want to do something, and we don't actually know what's going to happen. That's why it's a perfect spot to just get out. One tick, okay. Too bad we didn't take it at 03.5. Well, we said up there, oh, I saw an opportunity to go short, but then I said, it would probably take the 2 ticks on it. And it's been a slow move down. They might actually like push back and then keep going through, but like with that much being absorbed every time, I don't think that we can really hold that, especially not in this particular location. If we had known back at 03.5 that we're getting a bubble down, then maybe you could potentially hold it until the 120, but now at the 120 you're at a critical enough level, and something that's been a critical level for several days now, that we just have no probability of predicting what's going to happen there, and so we got to get out at that point. Trump tweeted about all of the kids in the cave got saved. If you missed that. Can't blame me if you're bored right now. I know that was exciting there when it was like 13 And I was like, am I going to get filled? Yes. Oh, yes, I'm going to get filled. Like that was exciting. And I was really feeling like the anticipation before it broke. But now that it's doing this, it's just like, oh, come on. How much worse can it get? I don't think I've ever seen it so thick. I don't think I've ever seen us trade 10, 12K at like 3 prices and then just stop and even potentially reverse. Yeah, just building energy. It could be, I mean, I don't know. I really feel like that if they got through that huge 10K order at 120, which it's not unusual to see that much put at an even price, right? Just really seems like if they could get through that there's so much imbalance now at this point. We're well over 6, 7, 8, so about 25K short now, just in that last, just in this area, like just through this 120. Where did it start? 110. So no, not 110. 01. Just since 01, we've traded 25K contracts short, and we're not moving. But you see, when they trade back up into the 01, they absorb it. 6K might be 10K going up the other way. And are they able to get through it or not? Well, if they get through it, we've had so much delta short here that I think you could get a lot of people panicking and buying for sure. Yeah, Uzi says his DOM has 20,000 contracts hitting 005 NZN. Yes. I mean, mine refreshes every time it ticks up, but if you had like the 10-second refresh, yeah, it probably would show the same as what my cumulative delta is showing. Well, now the 05, the 0.5 has gone offer. Now nobody's hitting into 120. I still like having gotten out there. I think that was the right signal, but now we're looking at it, would not mind being short 10 and looking for a break of 120. And look at that, they hit the 6. They hit 6 into 01. And now 38 into 05 to make this go offer. And just a little trickle of orders here, but I mean, this could just shoot. And the 5-year could push it in there because there's not that much resistance in the 5-year. Same with the 30. The 30 isn't actually on its low, so the 30 could rush down here as well. 30 might be a good leading indicator here in this point. In the E-mini, it's uncertain, but the E-mini might push up. do see some indication that the mini hit some support there. $2,300 is a lot. But remember, we have a 3-year auction today. We got like what, the 10-year tomorrow, I think. Yep, 10-year tomorrow, 30-year on Thursday. And it is very, very common. Well, I don't know how common it is, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But I have seen many times the day of auctions these enormous icebergs. So why we call it a rate lock. And I think I've only seen them get through the rate lock once, which was last month, if you guys recall that. And if you recall, they pushed through the rate lock, only got like 2 or 3 ticks after it, and then moved back up above it again. That's exactly what happened. So I don't know. Trump says seeing Putin will be easier than meeting with Theresa May. When did he say that? Did he just have a news conference? Options on futures continue to grow, and I personally have been working on using them more in my trading. Trading Tech has done a fantastic job with their new options package, so I spoke with TT on advanced options trading. You can listen here. From Anthony Crudelli. Well, that is interesting. Okay, well, they ticked up to a 1/2, and they got smacked back down. And now they've been able to put that bid back there. I do see a potential long here. I don't want to take 0.5 though. And that's exactly why. I don't know if I want to take 0.1 either. You know, buying at 0.5 with the iceberg might have been a good idea. But you know, with that much pressure and stuff, it's like that was where we were uncertain, right? Now we're getting this thing where some of this is going to unwind. Actually, it looks like a lot of it has already unwound. We still got another 10K to go, but I think I should just wait still. Just relax, Seth. You don't need to take a trade if you don't need to. Be a crypto miner. Any thoughts about the Bitcoin price in the coming days? Well, so first of all, I want to point out again that for some reason my futures chart has been screwed up ever since the new contract. Okay. So I can't really read into the cumulative delta, what's going on in the futures. But when we look at the Bitcoin chart over here, what I see is a lot of buys that did nothing in puking. And really from this whole thing, I mean, honestly, if that was a bottom, they should not have any problem getting above 6 to 7. This really, if this was really a bottom, this should have come up at 7 and then found support and then been going higher. And remember that my indicator still says they were like 131. So, I think it's impossible to predict Bitcoin on that short term of a basis with a reliable probability. But if you had to ask me which way I want to be right now, I definitely would be short. So take that for what you will. I'm trying to be cautious with what I say because I don't want to give you the impression that I have a really reliable, profitable edge that says that you should be going short here, because I just don't have an edge on that time frame. What I do have is I have an edge on the major pivots, and the last major pivot was at 10, and it says that it doesn't have one yet. So I can't say like over the week or whatever, but on the kind of the more weekly, monthly time frame that I trade on, I'm basically sure. I mean, I got rid of everything. I can't go short, but if I could, I would be short and holding it. I hope that is a adequate answer to that question. Yeah. Okay, he says, I understand you. Yeah. I'm gonna be careful. I don't want anybody to be like, you told me to go short and I did, and so I did, and I lost $10,000. I don't want to be that. So that's why my take on it is just to show, here's what I'm doing. I might lose money doing it, but at least that way you know that if you want to follow it, you know that I'm putting my money on the line too. Ooh, okay, I kind of like that one. Playing poker for the time being, yeah. I mean, I really would like to be involved in Bitcoin. I thought it was really fun, but I don't. Being short Bitcoin is difficult. Let's just say difficult. Well, I kind of liked that iceberg there at 0.1, but I feel like I missed the boat. And we're too close to this big order at 120 that like, okay, so when is the E-mini open too? That's a good point. So probably shouldn't be taking a trade on the E-mini. Their initial little bit of volume was up, but they're not getting very far. I look very sad. I'm just tired. As I think it's just been really slow today. And when it's like that, it's hard to stay awake. And I don't feel like I slept very well last night. I don't feel like I've slept very well the past like 3 or 4 nights. Hey, there's a couple of steps up. Yeah. Well, it's summer, right? I'm actually really enjoying what's going on here because yesterday we took a +2 in off of the range there, and today we took 1 where we saw some absorption, and there actually probably was some more trades in there. I do kind of wish that I bought 0.0 a half now, but again, at the time I didn't see the probability. And you know, that's good practice because that's the type of action I have a hard time with in futures. That's where a lot of my losses come from, is from slow action like this. So to go through this super slow action and pull some winners out of it, I think is really great, really great. But Bitcoin, I mean, I sold everything at 10. So every little bit that Bitcoin goes down, I mean, I should be happy about it, right? Because that means obviously that I was right. And when I was at 10, everybody thought I was crazy. I went and posted on the subreddits, and everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, "Oh, if it really does that, I'll give you this much. Like, there's no way that that's going to happen." Well, if I'd gotten long 01, I think I would get out at that 5. Maybe. Well, I don't think I should say I would get out at that 5 because obviously there's been a lot of absorption both ways, but that's a potential exit. One potential exit right there at 0.5. And like I said, the 0.5 has been a difficult price, so it makes it a good candidate. And I do like that big order now that was at 0.2 has moved to 0.2 half, so it's also, I think that there's enough that you could hold it for a continuation, but I should point that that's a potential exit. Anyways, I'm still saying that Bitcoin should go to 2,000, right? But, it's just not as fun watching it go down, you know what I mean? Do I do crypto for a living? No. So I started doing crypto about October of last year. Like I mined Ethereum, and then I pretty much stopped there because I saw that it was overvalued. And then I stayed out until it hit 6K the first time. And then I bought quite a bit. And using what we had made from the Patreon. And then when it got to 10K, I sold it all. And after all of that, it's about $1,000 is how much I made in crypto. But like that was all from nothing. That was all from mining in the Patreon. So I think that that's pretty good. And I'm hoping that it's going to go down to 2,000 and we buy it again. And then we could probably multiply that several times over. You have 12 rigs. Wow. Yeah, I'm just doing Ethereum with 2... what are 1060s? Yes, I have 2 1060s in this machine that I mine with. And so here's the other thing, is that when all of that happened, I was like, well, everything's going to go down. So I don't think I want to be mining something like Ethereum or something profitable, right? So I picked a shit coin that, like, maybe next time we have a bull run, that maybe that'll be worth something. So I picked garlic coin, and I don't know if that was a good choice. Because garlic coin since then has been like, everybody considers it a dead coin. And my goal was to mine 10,000. And where am I at now? We're still, by the way, we're still here at this 1.5. So maybe taking the profit there was the right call. But it's so hard to say in this action because so much is getting absorbed at every price. It could do anything, especially with the E-mini opening up. But this probably don't want to be involved for another 10 minutes. Where is it? So I'll show you my garlic coin wallet is now. So I have 2,000. I have 2,000 garlic coins now, and my goal is 10. So my goal is 10, and if garlic coin gets to the same market cap as Dogecoin had back in February, then garlic coin would be worth $100. And right now it's worth like 1 cent. So it's really like $20 worth of garlic coins. But that's the goal, is to mine it all, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have high hopes though, because it's not like Dogecoin generates so many coins, so it's never going to be worth very much because there's too many coins. But garlic coin is actually relatively limited. There's only like 69 million coins or something. So especially when they get to like halvening and stuff like that, then yeah, I think it's going to go up. So that's why I did that one. But right now it kind of seems like a dead coin. But it was more fun back then because, there was like people you could talk to and I could argue with them, and I like to argue. I don't know. That is fun. So I got that going on, and then the other thing is like there's something growing on my eye. I don't know. So this eye, I think it's this one. This one is one that's usually like squinting, but this eye, it's got like irritation right here, and it's created like I want to call it a callus on my eyeball, and so it might be making my eyes look a little more red and tired than I really am. And then I'm also at like the intensity phase in my workout program, so my nervous system is a little tired overall. So we're lifting like 95% of my maxes yesterday. So and I actually almost got a new personal record in my front squat. That close. And so that's gonna make me look a little tired. But I think we did okay. Well, geez, it's already turning around, huh? The way that I've been trading this week in particular reminds me a lot. Excuse me. It reminds me a lot of how I traded in December. Because I remember in December thinking like, well, I'm not necessarily making a ton, but it seems like in spite of whatever I might be doing, I am pulling a little bit out every day. And that's what it feels like I've been doing so far. So you took one trade yesterday and got 2, and took one trade today and got 1. And saw a couple of other trades that I thought were good ones, but I was just a little late to, so I didn't try them instead of chasing it. It was good. You mean you're not really going anywhere yet? Oh, so what do I do for a living? I'm QA engineer for a healthcare exchange. So I program, but the things that I program are generally things that other developers use, frameworks and stuff like that. Mine Ethereum and buy garlic coins. That probably would have been a better choice, wouldn't it? I mean, where is garlic today? Let's look at the coin market cap. Coin market cap chart. Man, the whole space took pretty big hits today. So it is now worth 1.3 cents. Which that is a little bit up from earlier in the month, isn't it? Yes. Because earlier in the month it was 0.12. One thing I will say is after when I first started mining it, and it was at like $1, like the first day was like they wanted $1, and then later that week they wanted $2 and $3, and I came in and was like, guys, like look at how much you can mine in a day, and then look at the price. With the amount that you can mine in one day, it should be worth 50 cents, not $2. So it's got to come down. And then what happened was it came down and everybody just freaked out. Like, and then of course the rest of the crypto market pushed it down. Now here at 0.15, when you look at how much you can mine in a day, it's undervalued. You should be able to make at least $4 a day mining. Even if you're losing net because of the electricity, it should be around $3 to $4, and that's not what you're making in garlic coin. So I think it's undervalued. I almost just choked to death there. I think enough have gone through at 0.2 that you probably could have gotten that. Yeah. But now that 0.2 half is not moving. So I think that now you would a little bit more reason to be taking it off. Still a little bit of volume to unwind here. Still about another 10K that has to buy in here. Wondering if that's what they do. How many coins? Check how many coins of mine are in lose. Oh man, so we have the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you should check out the Discord. And in our crypto channel, there's a guy. Sorry, what is his name again? Sledge. And he's a pretty good trader, and I've been watching him scalp Bitcoin, and he's made some pretty good calls there, I would say. And he also saw when I said, it was 10K, and he sold a lot of stuff, but he forgot about one coin. There was one coin that he had somewhere in another exchange, and he just, I guess he totally spaced it, and he had a lot of it, and lost a lot on it. I think it was KU coin, was the one where he was lamenting about it the other day. Felt really bad because like he did everything right. It's just you know, just that one coin that didn't get liquidated. Hmm. Okay, so there was an iceberg on the bid there, and he was getting plowed over. So that might have just been another. And that's a potential short, but I don't like the location. Like to do that short, you would have to go short O2, and the middle of the profile is O1/2, and so you could potentially only get one on it. So it's not enough of a reward for me to take. If we went up more to like O3/2 and I saw this, then maybe I would go short. I will say that the book looks a little more balanced now. You know, we had that huge 10K down there. It's not 10K anymore, it's 79. I think maybe there were some people that were looking to take a profit there and decided it wasn't going to happen, and maybe that's why it's gone down now that we're moving up. I don't know. Now the upside to that is that if we can't get much higher here, and it really does look like it could pivot here, they could just barrel right through that 120 on the next test. Okay. Well, they're actually holding this O2.5 now fairly well, and that's not 6,000 anymore. I think a little bit traded through there though, right? Oh yeah, so another thing, I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but on Reddit, there's a subreddit called Thanos Did Nothing Wrong. And I've been following the subreddit since the movie came out. I actually saw the subreddit before I saw the movie. Um, and it's kind of like the Empire did nothing wrong, where basically you're supposed to be a follower of Thanos and you believe that really the galaxy does need to have half of all people removed from it for the sustainability of the galaxy. And they decided that in order to have balance on the sub, that they needed to ban half of the users in the sub. So they did that yesterday, and I got banned. So I'm a little salty about it, but you know, because I was there from like the very beginning. But you know, it's random, and that's fair, right? So sometimes it seems like a randomness is the only thing in this universe that's truly fair. But yeah, I got banned. So that was kind of fun. So now I'm in the Soul Stone. There's another subreddit where only people that have been banned can post. And apparently it's the subreddit of the day, so that's kind of funny that they did that. But what are you doing with this open? I'm not sure I understand that question. Oh, well, do you mean what do I have on my screen? This is a depth of market ladder. We'll go through this. I don't know if this is actually your question, but since I'm not going to take a trade here, we can do this anyways. This is a depth of market ladder, and these are people that want to sell, and these are people that want to buy with limit orders. So there's 5,000 people with a limit sell at 120.040. Okay. These middle columns are people that are market buying and selling. So 2,400 people have market sold into O2.5, but there's still more people that want to buy it there. So in order for price to go down, we would need another 2,700 to trade there, or some of those buy orders at 2,700 would need to pull. And then when all those orders are taken, some offers would stack here at O2.5, and that's what makes price go up and down. Okay. Bitcoin exchanges work the exact same way, and you can actually see they actually give you the same data to create a price ladder like this, but I haven't seen any tool that's at least available to regular people that shows you quite as good as this DOM. But anyways, that's basically the way that it works. And then we're looking up here, like this line is basically all of the market buys minus the market sells. So you can see here that we sold like 25,000 and now we've bought almost 25,000, but we're not quite up to where we were. And this shows the same information. You know, the more white it is, the more bids or offers were there at that price. So we can see at the moment we've we had some size on us at 03 and we were able to break through it, and there's not necessarily an outsized order at 03 half. It's just kind of the usual thing at 03 half. So if we could get some more buyers, we could maybe move up, but I don't know if we're going to do that. It looks pretty bearish. Well, yeah. So normally, so first thing you got to keep in mind is that treasuries are super thick, right? Like in Bitcoin, you can sell 100 Bitcoins and that'll move the market $100. Maybe not $100, but you see blocks of like 100 Bitcoin. So like 100 Bitcoin at 10,000, you know, it's $10,000. Or sorry, not $10,000. It's like $1 million, right? Here in treasuries, a contract is like 500. So like you could put in sorry, I'm having a hard time doing the math in my head for some reason. So basically you take 42 times 500, you know, so that's like $20 million just to move it a tick. Just to move it a tick, right? Yeah, you put 1 Bitcoin in, then you do leverage times 100. That's right, yeah. When we were selling up at the top though, I saw blocks of 100 Bitcoin come through all at once, several times. It was kind of scary. But it's risking a lot, yep. It's risky. Anyways, so these are super thick. So you would think that seeing 20,000 contracts, which is billions and trillions of dollars. Well, and also keep in mind that one futures contract controls basically $1 million. Is the total net value of one contract, right? And because it's 100 on one node is $100,000 and you're controlling 100 of them. So you would think that much selling is like super huge, right? But then you have to consider that we have an auction tomorrow where these guys are where the government is gonna issue billions and billions of more notes. And what happens sometimes is that an institution has some, is going to make an offer at the auction, and they have to use the treasuries to hedge it. And so you get this rate lock thing where you see tons and tons of contracts trade at one price. And so that's what happened, was we just had crazy selling, but there was a rate lock there and they're not able to get through it. So you prefer to play with futures than normal trading? Well, I wouldn't consider, in my mind, futures trading is the most pure trading out there that there is. Because when you look at stocks are so correlated with each other, you really can't just look at one stock and all of the price action in that one stock and really get a really good picture of what's going on. But for futures, I can look at the 10-year, and granted there are correlations, but the 10-year is really its own thing. And if anything, everybody else looks at the 10-year to see what it's doing and they trade off of it. So it's really, you can just purely watch that one product and just trade that one product and it's pure trading. And then the second thing is that we're looking at like the raw orders, right? Like the way that I make a determination is that I could see, like, for instance, the one that I took today, we saw that there was some pulling, and that there was a bunch of orders were flooding in through here, and that if we did that we could break a new low. It wasn't the best trade, but we took it. And then at the next price, we could see that there was just that the buyers weren't getting out of the way, and so I only took one tick off of it, and that was down here. And we probably could have said at that point, although I just didn't like the context of it, but you could have said at that point, these buyers are buying so much here at this price, and the sellers are now so overextended that if we just get one or two ticks up, they're going to have to bail. And that's exactly what happened, right? And so that's a really good, there are some really good probability trades in there. You can get these things that, you know, over the long run, you can risk 2 ticks. You risk 2 to 3 ticks, you're going to make 4 to 6 ticks. So you get 1.5 risk reward ratio and better than 50% probability. Where are you going to get that anywhere else? Like when you look at Forex, like Forex is a losing game. You have negative edge there, right? Where can you learn about it more? So the way that I learned to trade futures was from an education course called No BS Day Trading. And it's really cheap. It's like, I think the beginner course is like $70. And if you read that beginner course, he'll explain to you why you should trade the 10-year and the kind of signals that you're looking for. And then it's just kind of a matter of like watching it. And he has some webinars too. Somebody sent me some recordings of his webinars, and I think if you take the webinar, it gives you a big leg up, because he trades live and he says, this is why I wouldn't take one here, or I wouldn't take one here. It kind of gives you some of his experience to keep you out of some bad trades. But those are all things that you can learn yourself, obviously. So you could I would recommend just get the beginner course, and then you'd have to buy a DOM. So like this software is like $500. Yep, No BS Day Trading. Day Trading. The guy's name is John Grady. Who's the guy that makes it? But and this is like, you know, if you were gonna trade for an institution, this is how you do it. The other thing that they're gonna change is that they have, you know, instruments to show you, you know, what the firm has internally. You know, like they have, like, you can see how many buy and sell orders you actually have to fill for your clients and what the other traders in the firm are doing. That's really, really useful information too. But they still use a DOM, and they still look at, you know, how many contracts are trading at each price and that sort of a thing. So that's why I recommend doing it this way. This to me, I think, is if you want to like make a living off of it, trading the 10-year is probably the most likely way that you're going to do it. I think Forex is probably the least likely way that you're going to do it. And Bitcoin, well, there's some good, I don't know about Bitcoin, so I've seen some traders in our channel. It seems like they're doing really well with the Bitcoin. Even in the downturns, they're selling it and they're making really good moves. And I don't know how they do it, but they're just able to read it, what's going to happen next. To me, it seems like from day to day that what happens in Bitcoin is a little bit random. So I don't know if day trading Bitcoin is necessarily a winning game, but do it. I don't do Forex, I invest in a few strong coins. Yeah. Yeah, my strategy right now is I'm staying away from the good coins, and I'm only mining in things that aren't worth anything anyways. So like with Garlic Coin, it's like if the Bitcoin market loses another 50%, Does it really matter to Garlic Coin? Not really, right? So in Garlic Coin, we just want to accumulate as much of it as we can. And then, hopefully you haven't spent too much on the investment, and if it actually goes up, you have a lot. I need to find something to keep going apart from poker. I've thought about doing that, but, well, first of all, I don't think that I would ever want to try and make or lose money on poker. That doesn't sound like my thing. But I'm always looking for things to do when I get home from the gym. So most of my evening is at the gym, doing Olympic weightlifting. But I'm always looking for like low stress things to do. And I feel like if I played something like poker afterwards, that would be too much stress. Like trading the tenure can be stressful. Hasn't been too bad today because we only took one trade, and ever since then it's been in a spot that I just don't want to trade it. Although there was some good trades in there that I just kind of casually dismissed, didn't I? Remember when I was saying like, well, I could buy it, but I don't really want to buy into 0.5 because that's the middle of the profile price, and it could go back and forth there several times, and it did come down by a tick. Then it came back up, and then you still could have bought it there, and then you could be up 2, possibly 3 ticks, and I dismissed that one. Now maybe it was correct to dismiss it, but it still seems like I could have pulled more out today, and I don't know if I'm going to take another trade. We do often get an 8 to 8:30 move, so that's kind of what I'm watching right now. The E-mini is finally moving higher, and that does appear to be causing some selling in the 5-year and the 30-year. I don't know. When I come home, I usually play Quake these days. Maybe I should stream that on Twitch, but I don't know if there's really that many people out there that are that interested in watching me play Quake. Well, I would love to, chat. It would be fun to play Quake and chat, but... And of course, I do stuff with family, too. When they're not being too loud. My kids are a little loud right now, and it's kind of hard to be in the room with them. They're so loud. Okay, so they just bought that up all at once, and it was 7K. Well, okay, so they bought through 03 half too. And where did we say it was 03 half was the spot where I was like, if we came short of that? Now they're trading 04. So that particular theory goes out the window. Now they could still stop at 04 and there'd be a double top, but I'm doubting it. So now I'm looking for maybe a move down and higher low. The other thing that I could have done was when we were here and we were saying that was possibly a buy. Look at that, higher low. Could have taken that one. You be careful because the 5 and the 30. Okay, so the 10 did just tick higher. The 5 has not ticked higher. The 30 is. Oh, maybe the 30 actually ticked higher too now too. Okay. We've got to be careful about chasing that one because that could very easily rush back in our face back to 03. Yeah, talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Okay. One tick down. I'm a little curious that we're not seeing a big offer above us in the 5 year. Suppose we would have to get all the way up more to like 18? No, but we can see 18 and there's nothing there. Maybe we get another tick up and then maybe we'll see it. White House does not dispute the report that Trump struck a secret corrupt deal with Justice Kennedy. Well, yeah, because the story is a dumb story. Of course, they're not going to respond to it. There's a downtick. Another one. Looks like we already missed it. See that 6 show up there? And when we traded down, 1196 hit up back into it and it was stayed firm at 3000. So there's probably no way we get filled at 3. Okay. Iceberg there. Not a very strong bid, that's good. We should trade down and put a good offer up again. If it doesn't, then I might just break even. Okay. Right, so they did put 1000 on it. Traded up through it. Getting 5. $13.40 that time. Okay, something like that. When they sold it, the buyer fought back too hard that time. I'm going to try and scratch it. Level 2 activity appears to be picking up a little bit. The E-minis are taking another look at this, breaking out of this range here high. Not filled yet. Okay. Well, when they took it, they bid, but then like they immediately took it up. So well, that's not a place we want to be involved. I think that was the right choice. Just based off of the way that last tech happened. See, they're not putting up very much. Okay, this time they held an offer. Oh, it might go down, but I felt like that my edge was that we were coming down and they shouldn't be able to hold a strong bid at 0.3/2. So that's why I took it off. I might regret doing that, but I think that's what I gotta do. Okay, well now the O3 half where we tried to get short is holding a better offer. Yep, it was O3 half. Okay, so there was finally the downtick that we would have wanted to see. When I was looking there, one of the things I was seeing was, well, if we come back, this 1.5 might be a good target. Now that just based off of that last tick with them immediately putting 36 on it, that's, got out too early. Yeah, there is some support at 0.25. That's a good point. Hmm. Well, I think that I would be taking it off at 0.3 here. Because it's like a strong bid. Sorry, there was a strong offer, and then it didn't continue through. It was like that trade from 0.4 half to 0.3 half was like the only time that it actually like really continued through today. Okay, well, so I took the one down at the bottom because I saw that there was a really good probability that they were going to break the low, and I went in with a stop order. I I didn't really like the way that worked. It was profitable, so let's take what we can from it. This one up here, um, break even, maybe could have gotten one, but really doesn't matter. But I think the one is that there was a missed one really here when we came up, and then we came back to '05, and I really wasn't paying it. I mean, I was yapping, of course, but really that should have been higher low buy there. And maybe there was some order flow, I don't know. But I think that you could have taken the one and taken it off at 0.2 and taken 3 out of it. And that would have been a good trade. Maybe you could even push it and get the 4. Or, held it and gotten more. But I think that I would have get out at that zipper right there. So, yeah. Slow day again. Tomorrow we get CPI, so we should get some good moves tomorrow. But 2 profitable days in a row on a slow, it was just absolutely maddeningly slow, is good. So, and we had fun talking today. I don't want to talk that much every day, but today was a good day to do it. So yeah, we're going to end it there. Catch you tomorrow.